Welcome to Good Night Book with Erica and Nate.
I feel like this has been like a long journey to get me to just ask you what your favorite kind of hat is every week.
I know.
I feel like it's already come up so many times, and then it's just like this one is just served up.
I know. It's maybe we should have started with this one because I do feel like it permeates into your other podcast, and
yeah, there's a lot of hat.
It has come up, and maybe we even put the kibosh on that question last time. It came up. It's been a while since we recorded.
Yeah, that's true.
Transparency. So it feels like
it's been a while.
We can't talk about it.
Well, I think Erica, we're gonna talk about it.
Okay.
This isn't a Bruno situation, okay?
Okay. We will talk about it.
Yes, we are going. We are going to talk about Bruno. It's not great for the meter, but
no.
But for the yard, it's fine.
That's why they said we don't talk about it.
Right, because of the meter.
Yep. Yeah, that's the reason why that song exists.
Oh, I didn't know that. But what does exist? This is a good segue.
Yeah.
Speaking of things that don't exist, this does exist, and it's a book. The book we're talking about today is Caps for Sale. Oh, I should have practiced this name. It's by Esfer Slobodkina. Should we start with our synopses?
Yeah.
And just get it out of the way?
I have a really long one. I mean, I wrote it. It looks long.
It's kind of a long book.
It is.
Like as these books go, there's a lot of words.
So
a lot of caps, a lot of words. A lot of words in all caps.
Whoa.
I know.
We're there now.
I don't know.
Okay.
I think there were.
Again, I don't have it in front of me.
I think when he has his tantrum might be in all caps. You give me your synopsis. I'll look that up.
Okay. Yep. Here it is. A poor peddler with great posture sells hats in a small town. Due to an unsustainable business model, he has to take a lunch break with no food, and a bunch of monkeys make that sad lunch break even worse. But he still sticks with the whole hat selling business.
I mean, it was thorough, and I still didn't find it.
All caps.
So I don't think he yells. He just gets mad and does something. He doesn't say anything. Okay.
Modeling gentle parenting, I guess.
Yeah, classic. Wherever this guy's from. Do you think this is an American story?
No.
You don't?
I think it's Eastern European. Slobodkina.
Yeah, well, Esfer is probably, but this farmland looks pretty dirty, honestly, I just realized. Anyways, the silo and the barn placement is questionable. So yeah, definitely Eastern European. I'll say that. Let's just say that. My synopsis is this. It's shorter. The grifter passes out and gets robbed of his hats and then his dignity. He loses control of his anger and gets his hats back at least.
No, there you go.
Yeah.
You have a little bit more of a conclusion. Give it a little indication that it ends well-ish.
I still think he loses his dignity by yelling at monkeys. I think it's undignified. Sure. You know, I've always said this.
Yes.
I believe firmly that it's undignified. The art in this book I wanted to discuss briefly. I guess I definitely, in reading the whole book, definitely thought this could have been written in Portland in 2011. That's like the art reminds me of like everything, all the signage and everything. And honestly, the people, the mustache.
Yeah.
And the caps, the whole aesthetic is like, seems very of that, with the, I feel like there would be hand-drawn fingers pointing places. Do you know what I mean?
Interesting. Yeah. Yep.
That kind of
that
aesthetic.
Sort of like old-timey Hey Chap kind of era. I can't speak more articulately about it than that, but.
Oh, that was good. Yeah. Hey Chap.
Hey Chap. And this guy is a chap, There's
this guy
like
is a chap.
chapness to him. And there is something about like the trends of Victorian era coming back around in Portland, hot and heavy. And
yeah, absolutely. This guy could have been a bartender.
Yeah. Yeah.
At some like bar.
Or like
I don't know about.
Bicycle ice cream delivery vendor.
A bice cream, you could call it? I don't know.
Yes.
I wanted to say, I forgot that there is a subtitle, which also seems very Portland 2011.
Oh, yes.
So it's Caps for Sale, a tale of a peddler, some monkeys, and their monkey business.
I think they want to prepare you for the fact that there are monkeys in this book because Caps for Sale really does not give you a full picture of what this book is about. So it's like if you have a monkey aversion, don't read this book.
Oh, yeah. That's a good thing to prepare you for. It's kind of like a trigger warning.
So was this one that was from your childhood?
No, not at all. That's what, like, I literally thought it was new. And then it's from 1940.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so like this was like of the time. They weren't kidding. You know, that's just how people... I was just like, hey, look at this normal guy with his normal mustache. Yeah, it's a hat peddler, like we have all the time. Yeah, you know, like Gary. It's just like Gary.
Right. Oh, I relate to this book so much. I get so annoyed when that hat peddler comes around because I've already bought a red hat.
Yeah, exactly. Well, look, my dad's a hat peddler. You think I don't have hats?
Yeah. I mean, he's in a small town. How many times does he really think he's going to get a sale?
Yeah.
One of my highlights is the line, nobody wanted even a red cap. Like, it's desperate times when people are like turning down everyone's favorite colored cap, the red cap. Like, can you even imagine?
Can you? No, I can't. Do you think you could, how many hats do you think you could balance on your head?
It depends on the hat. If they're soft stocking caps?
No, those hats.
Oh.
The well, grandpa hats or whatever. Golf
maybe
hats.
Like 5 to 6, I think.
Chap hats? Could we call them chap hats?
Chap hats? Yeah.
I like that.
Chap hats?
Hey, chap hats. Would you say 5 or 6? Okay.
Yeah, I do. What's your estimate?
Huh. Like, these look pretty stackable.
But they're not nesting. I just assume.
Yeah, that's true.
Well,
they're not nesting.
How many
I think I
can
could do
stack
8.
and walk?
Yeah.
That's where I was. That's where I was at.
Yeah, how many can I stack and take a nap? You know?
With your
a lot.
chap hats?
Let's just say a lot. Chap hats with the nap hats. The fat nap. Chap hat with the fat nap. Next time on Good Night Book. Sorry, we were just recording a
We've
promo
actually just
in the middle
written
of
a book. That's the sequel to this book.
We should.
It's combining all the things
that's what this is going to end up as us coming out once we get super popular. We're going to write our own children's books.
Seussian nonsense rhyming scheme based on hats with the pictures inspired by Clement.
Wait, nonsense? That made perfect sense to me, Erica.
Pardonnez-moi.
What would you peddle if you were going to peddle something? If you modern day had to peddle something?
Oh.
So it's like one item. You know, you can't like have a wide variety of things. It's like one.
Okay. Well, my first, based on an earlier conversation that was not recorded, my first instinct is coffee. Because like I would sell a lot of that.
That's true.
But I imagine like a door-to-door salesperson selling coffee would be some weird, dumb hook. Like it's super coffee from an island in Belarus that we didn't know existed because Belarus is a landlocked country.
What if you had like a Keurig machine strapped to you and you're just like operating it? And like you sing a song maybe,
yeah,
and you make it right there, but it's just like these pots. And then you're like, can you throw this away for me? Zero waste. Can you throw this away for me? But I have zero.
Yeah, what about you?
I think USB cables.
Oh, nice.
Or just like, or maybe just a charge. Maybe like, what if you were just like a charging station? And you have like all sorts of cables. You can charge all sorts of things. Maybe you even have like a 120 volt normal plug. Like somebody needs to vacuum or something.
Oh my God. Honestly, this is a great idea. Because right now with the extra people in my house, we're constantly like, do you guys have a charger for this? Or how about, but nope, it needs the USB-C port. No, iPhone, it's different for the keyboard than it is the iPhone. It's like a mess. And
yeah, this is
and so I would love
idea.
it if somebody just came to the door and they looked a little bit like a crazy alien with like all the cords like springing forth from them.
Yeah. Like what if I just like open my jacket, you know, and they're like, I've got all this stuff strapped in, and I'm like, okay, you're looking for a USB-C to a, you know, to an HDMI, a mini HDMI. Sure, I got that.
I got that. Oh, you need an adapter? Yeah, from what to what? Oh, nope, the other way? Yeah, so sometimes it's the other way.
Yeah, it's like this, you know, I have this side of my jacket open, and I'm like, oh, you need the other way? You know,
yes.
Other side opens. I have a huge battery backpack. Like my backpack is just like a huge battery pack.
And,
yeah, this is a great idea.
You're driving around on a
hoverboard.
Circumfugal, stupid. I can't think of any of it.
Yeah, sure. I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah, Segway. It's
Segway. There you go. Yeah, like self-powered Segway.
Yes. Yeah, the Segway. Oh, this is getting into like turning into a good idea. So just watch out.
Okay,
so the Segway powers the battery pack somehow.
Sure, like with an alternator. So when the okay, let's do it. I'm in. What do we call this business? The charge for sale. 50 cents a charge. Charge
only
for
accept
sale.
coins. Yeah, no Venmo.
Coins. 50 cents Venmo transactions. You have to make it public though. That's my only rule. So that is a highlight for me of this book is I get to do a voice that seems like super obvious that it's like literally written. I mean, like it has to be that voice, you know?
Yep.
And I think it's funny that because Wes has no idea, has no perspective for what that would be.
Right,
I don't know why I do or where I got it, but like, you know how we all know that. See, wise guy, hey, never catch me, copper. Like, I don't know where.
We had like grandparents that kind of lived during that era, I guess.
Maybe but they didn't talk like that.
They should have.
That would be hilarious.
Missed opportunity for them. Yeah.
Gene Clark would have been wise guy, eh? Never catch me, see?
That would have been amazing.
Good to see you too, Gene.
Do your kids like this book? And when you read it to them in that voice?
Wes is fine with it. Wes is taken to we've gotten into a pretty annoying thing where she says, "Well, give me a book," and then say, "Wrong words, please." Oh, no. And I have to make up new words to the book. Like a parody version.
Well, I suppose she's heard it so many times. She knows. She's not reading, but she's,
And
oh my God.
So it's really hard, you know, at the end of the day to then like come up with like hot nonsense all the way through. Sometimes I'm great at it. Sometimes I am not. Does
every word have to be wrong or kind of like nouns and main action words and stuff?
Nouns and main action. Although for like one of the books, I definitely just go completely off meter and off script because it's way too long. And I realized I can make it shorter.
Yeah. This is so relatable. Yeah.
And then sometimes she'll like be like, no, try this. And like, then she'll do one.
Oh, good. She's giving you notes. That's great.
Yeah. And hers, incidentally, I can't tell you this, but I can tell you they're terrible. Hers are complete nonsense and don't even rhyme. Most of the time.
I know.
Or rhyme too much. You know what I mean?
You're doing comedy wrong, Wes. You're doing it wrong. Yeah.
So then I leave. You know, I just like abruptly leave the room. No, just completely emotionless, robot face, and I just march out and say, "Goodbye, Wesley, forever." And then I come back in a couple minutes later and say, "Just kidding, ha 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 ha."
This is really insightful into your parenting techniques. Everyone, listen up. This is the way.
It's gotta be fun to have me as a dad. Caps for sale. So let's talk about the story. Do we have to talk about the story? Is this something we do?
Sure. Yeah.
Oh, I'll do the voice. Can I just read a little section?
Yeah, please do. I think that's important. You're not going to read the whole thing, though. That's definitely something we don't do.
No. Do you think that would be illegal? Like, saying the word Super
Bowl? Read stories all the time
yeah.
on the internet. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, yeah, that's right. You've seen it. I've seen it. Did you?
No, I didn't like that. So I just read this one as a PDF, basically.
You should have gotten a video of me reading it because my voice is really good. I'm going to back away from the mic. Caps for sale. 50 cents a cap. I think Viv is having a meeting right now, and I hope that it's going well.
And the noise canceling didn't work.
Yep. I think I'll go for a walk in the country. That's it. That's all you get. Anyway.
Well, which is also a very poor business decision. Like, don't go in the country where you're person per square mile.
Although maybe it's like a scarcity thing. Like he's realized that he's kind of flooded the market. Nobody even wants a red cap, Erica.
I know. That's a
so like he's
where you
like,
really
okay.
understand.
And so then he wants to be kind of a way so that, somebody can be like, oh shit, I lost my hat.
I really need a hat.
Where's that guy? Where's that old chap? Hey, chap. So these guys, these monkeys rob him.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I want to know what it says that they didn't steal his cap.
Mm.
Is that the only one that was on his head?
Oh, yeah. Right. Like lodged. It was probably lodged. It's probably one of those caps he puts on right away in the morning. Doesn't take it off, not even for meals. How rude. And it's kind of like...
Yeah, this guy is one rude
molded
dude.
to his head.
Then put back... Oh, well, hold on. Picked up all his caps and put them back on his... Oh, because he threw that one off. Right. He needed to have his hat as a plot point. And the monkeys knew that.
Uh-huh.
Plus, like you say, he's stacking a bunch of hats. You want a strong foundation for that. So you're going to have... That first hat is pretty key. And you're right. Yeah. It's got to be snug on the old cabeza there.
He's done quite a bit of work to curate that hat.
That's probably just the weight of it all. By which I mean running a small business.
Exactly. Providing for the family.
Uh-huh.
Knowing that like anywhere you kidnap might be monkeys who are willing to steal.
Where did these monkeys come from? I feel like there's not going to be monkeys in this environment.
No, I think it's a missed plot point. Or a sequel or a prequel.
How did the monkeys...
Monkeys have escaped the zoo or a laboratory.
Mm-hmm. A laboratory? I like that idea.
Dark, right?
Super dark.
The young adult version of this book.
So there's a thing that the monkeys say. Here's my problem with this book.
Oh, that's funny.
It's spelled TSZ.
Yep.
TSZ, TSC.
TSC.
What are they saying, Erica? How would you say that if you were reading that aloud?
I was just going to ask you the same thing.
Oh, but I did it first.
Yeah. I don't read this out loud, so I guess I will just throw something out there, and it's tis. Very literal. What do you do when you read this book?
I do a variety of things. I change it up. I started going with like a tisk, tisk, tisk. Then realized that's not really right. Then I did both of those, like a
Oh, okay.
I don't like making either of those noises, honestly. Yeah. Then I remembered there's this thing I used to do. There's this yes, yes, no, no book that Wes and I used to read. And then I started saying, anyway, it was like, yes, yes, do this. No, no, do this. But I would say like, no, no, no. Like I was from Philadelphia, I guess, or Pittsburgh. Okay. I don't remember which. But no, 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 no. Like water. No, no, no. So then now I just say no, no, no.
Instead of tis, tis, tis. Tis,
yeah. Tis, tis, tis.
Yeah, it feels like, okay, all maybe of those consonants together on problem. Like they were doing some sort of like drum and bass electronica song.
In the 40s.
Yeah, it's a problem. And I think there's some sound in the author's head that he or she, unclear, was trying to make, and they just threw us all through a loop. There is like an international difference in like how people write animal noises.
Absolutely. That's what I was kind of thinking, is if it was like a
cultural
like
difference.
tisk. I mean, I could see if you had never heard
monkey noise, like, but how do you write it? Well, I don't know. People have written monkey noises like ooh, ooh, ah, ah. And it's animal noises in general, I think, are really hard to do. except for the basic ones like woof woof and meow.
Maybe they should have gone with woof woof and meow. Because then at least we would have understood. We would have known how to read it.
Do you have like a particular animal noise that you're really good at?
I would say when no. Maybe maybe a cat, I guess. I can do certain cats. I can do a Virginia, when she was like an 18-year-old empty duffel bag. She'd be like this. Like that.
Shit. I laughed over the last conclusion. Oh, that's good. I
what
know.
About you?
It's hard to do a bird, like a cat watching a bird, like a.
Yeah. Yeah, the chattering.
Yeah, the chitter.
Chitter. Chitter.
What else? Oh, I had one and then I lost it. Oh, a guinea pig. It's I don't know if I can do it anymore. It's a squeak. It's terrible. Can you hear it? Or was it noise canceling?
Noise canceled.
Okay. Yeah,
you look like a guinea pig though when you do it.
Yeah, they squeak.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't have recognized it anyway. I've never spent any meaningful time
with the
guinea pig. No.
What do you think is the hardest animal noise to do? When it is in a book or you were supposed to do. I got mine. I
think a pig sometimes, I want to go for it. Like it's easy to do well, but then it hurts. Or it's easy to start coughing, and that's
if you're
pretty
starting,
embarrassing.
You're doing the starting version, versus oink oink, yeah. Mm-hmm.
So that one. Yeah. But as far as difficulty of actually making the noise,
realistically,
I think they're all really easy because I'm really talented.
So okay, then here's mine, and then you got to do it.
Okay.
An elephant. Like a bell.
Meow. Woof, woof. No, it goes like this. Ready? It might get noise canceled, but my end will pick it up at least.
Okay. Yeah. It was noise canceled, but yeah, that was good. So the visual was important, which I could understand. It was the pursing of the lips, turning them into your mouth, and then blowing just enough, like you're blowing a reed of, almost like the reed of grass. Kind of trumpeting. Do you do an elephant noise when you're reading elephant books? Is this like?
I can't imagine an elephant book. No, we do read an elephant book, but I have to read the wrong words first of all, and second of all, he talks.
Yeah, right.
Gerald.
Oh, Gerald! I love Gerald so much.
Now he's Harold now.
Oh, that's hilarious.
For the wrong words, you know what I mean? It's tough. It's really tough, and now he can't pants. He cannot pants. He cannot dance. Unfortunately, yeah.
I find the Mo Willems stuff kind of laugh out loud funny. I know we haven't reviewed any of it, but
yeah, I enjoy it.
I'm not a pigeon fan, but I like pigeon fine. Pigeon's fine, but I do love Piggy and Gerald.
I don't even know Pigeon except that he appears in the back covers.
I think he's what gave Mo Willems his start. It's like Don't Let the Pigeon Drive the Bus.
Well, I think that's sound advice.
They're full of sound advice. Don't let the pigeon eat a hot dog. I don't know. There's a bunch of them.
That's good too.
And the pigeon gets salty in the middle, and then there's usually some resolution.
I love resolution. I want to ask you a final question. What is your least favorite and favorite mustaches?
Well, I like a mustache that doesn't look like somebody tried very hard. Like it's just growing. It's like where your natural hair shape, your follicles are providing you direction and you're following that direction. That's my favorite kind of mustache.
Where do you want it? Just like a normal.
Is like anything else.
Yeah.
Sorry. Go ahead.
That's okay.
Was there a clarifying question?
Where does it end? Where does the casual mustache end for you? Where does it end, Erica?
I'm looking at yours to just sort of get a sense of, Yeah, I think if you shave it like in line with the lip, yeah, and then horizontally yeah, right there. That's right. So just kind of where your middle, the split in your lips starts, and then shave that from there down. Yeah.
Just in a straight, very extremely straight line.
No, you'd leave it.
I know.
You'd use a horizontal guide. You'd use a horizontal guide like this. Like your lip split, and you just go like that. And then you go like down like that.
Oh, just down.
Yeah. Straight from there down.
So it can go all the way across.
It could go all the way if you.
Okay,
if you
I thought you meant vertically also. Like it was like it's like, well,
no,
that's
I
pretty
think you
weird.
just let it do its thing above anywhere above that.
So it's a hemisphere thing. The southern hemisphere.
Yeah, the southern hemisphere
shaved.
goes.
Okay,
yeah,
that's fair. I had a job in Portland where I was gonna say I had to have a mustache.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's what I thought.
It was. It was actually that I couldn't have a beard.
Oh.
But I always have a beard, and so I like basically over the course of a week just tried to cut as little hair off as possible. Be like, oh, that's not really a beard.
Yeah, it's just
but they'd be like, you still have to more off.
Oh no, that's funny.
And so like I would just shave the middle part out of like my chin, and then be like, what? It's not really a beard. Then they're like, yes, it is. So then
so would you leave like the cheek parts, like the jowl parts?
At first.
Oh, that's funny.
And then, anyway, I eventually got it to like where I just shaved this part and technically this part. And then when I'd go like home or whatever, so I'd have a week off, then I would just spend the 2 weeks before that growing it back out, but like just hiding my face from management. Like,
oh my God.
Be like putting my hand, like they'd be walking by and I'd be like thinking with my hand on my chin, like, or like suddenly ducking into the refrigerator. Like this especially in the end days of the last day before I go on vacation.
Oh my God.
Anyway.
Oh, I see.
What a trip. Yeah. So it was a terrible mustache, but it was only because I had to have a mustache.
Mutton chops. Yeah, mutton chops are one of my least favorites, I guess, where you got the big side jowl mustache and a handlebar. I think we know if there's a reference in our youth of somebody who had an adult who had a handlebar mustache at Tyrrell Basin.
Mm-hmm. That was a curly guy.
Yeah. Waxed and curled.
I forgot about that. Yeah, mustaches. I feel like that the mutton chop does like, because the best part about a beard is that it gives you the illusion of a chin, but you're like removing that and just giving the parts that make you look like you've got a big fat face.
Yeah.
It's like
who rocks that? I don't know.
I knew one guy that did. He also had a curly mustache that accompanied it.
Do you have a problem with the really sculpted mustaches like I do?
I just have a problem with people who try hard at things like that, but I guess whatever. If you want to do it, that's fine.
I know. It is like an artistic expression.
I spend
and there's
minutes
a part of me that
day.
admires.
Yeah. Like I guess you could have kids or a cool mustache.
One or the other. Can't have both.
Yeah. Can't have both. Find yourself a guy who has both. I don't know. I don't forget what that was. Anyway,
the takeaway here is you can only sell caps if you have a mustache. And certain places in Portland require you to have a mustache to work in the early 2010s.
And speaking of loving a good resolution, I'm just going to use that transition, that segue from a while ago, so that I can just cut out that whole last part.
Okay.
That's all we have to say about Caps for Sale, a tale of a peddler, some monkeys, and their monkey business for today. If you enjoy the show, please rate and review and tell somebody you like about us. And if you don't like it, then tell somebody you hate. For a transcript of this episode or any episode, please send a self-addressed stamped envelope to the address on your screen, and we will send you back a post-it note that just says, we don't have that. Until next time, good night, mush. Good night, creepy old lady. And good night, book.
The end.
I'm not really going to cut that part out.
Okay.